everybody. Today I am presenting a 4-hour long workshop that I did on secrets of transits. This workshop was done for my Mexico students. And what I'm doing is that as a special treat and also something that you can all learn from, this is a 5-part series. And so you can see it in sections, and it's going to cover multiple aspects: the secret of transits, the Gati Cheshta Bal, how to plan for the transits, the difficult ones, the good ones, Saturn's transit, and finally remedies. So all these 5 parts are there. And so in part 1, which we are doing today, we are going to talk about the secrets of the transit and why it is so important for you to understand the transits. In fact, my whole channel, Komilla Sutton channel on YouTube, is based on this fact that you should know the transits, know the knowledge of that. And so it is my great pleasure to present this workshop for you.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirviknam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Om Dhanamulam Gurur Murti Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa. Om Adityaya Somaya Mangalaya Budhaya Cha Guru Shukra Shanibhyascha Rahu Veketave Namaha. Om Japa Kusum Sankasham Kashapeyam Mahadvitim Tamorim Sarva Papagnam Pranato Asmi Devakaram. So I just wanted to show you this photograph. This photograph is of Sage Parashar. Actually, the thing says erroneously it is Dakshinamurti, but this is Sage Parashar. One of the temples I visit in Madurai has this beautiful idol of Sage Parashar, and whenever we go there, we always honor him and give our respects to him. So Sage Parashar is the guru of Jyotish. We all follow his teachings. Now, I have a very good goddess temple trip happening at the end of this year. And this is very much transit connected, specifically connected to the transits of next year, the Saturn Rahu conjunction that is taking place. I will be talking about it today. And these are my books. All of them are available via online. You can download them, or you can buy physical copies. I suppose download may be easier for you. So let us begin with the secrets of the transits and why studying the transits is the best gift. Now, for me, I have always studied the transits. And many years ago at a conference in London, our Baba conference, speaker spoke about some secrets there. And I was always following them, but I refined how I look at the transits. So I think that it is very important to study the transits and to understand what is happening, because that is what is going to make you feel more in charge, maybe more understand what is happening in the sky and in charge of your life. So that is why I put this. The first section is why studying the transits is the best gift you can give yourself. So the transits reveal the quality of time we live in, its strengths and weaknesses. And knowing the quality of time helps us navigate the difficult and weak times, making the right choices so that we do not weaken ourselves or create major problems. Knowing the strength of time allows us to take advantage of it, again, make choices with less stress and more confidence. So there are two factors that you have to consider when you're watching the transits. You're not just watching them that, oh, something is happening and it's not affecting me. You're watching them with a very important mindset that you are going to see how these transits are impacting me and what is it that I can do about it. So where the time is difficult and those are known as weak times, then we are being cautious. And where the strength is there, we are being optimistic and, working with it. So in Vedic astrology, we have a concept of Mahurata. And this Mahurata is used to elect auspicious time to get maximum positive result from essential activities as you begin them at the best available time. I don't know, since I was a child, I was aware people would say, oh, there's Mahurata for this is happening. I never understood till I started studying astrology. And Mahurata's calculation is complex, which considers Panchanga as well. Therefore, Panchanga's essential qualities to understand the underlying condition of time. We are not going to study that today. The Secrets of Transit workshop aims to teach you to go beyond Mahurata and understand the quality of time you're living in. Then you can flow with the cosmic energies. So what we are doing is we are not just studying the time, we are studying the whole concept of time. Not trying to find auspicious time, but understanding the ebb and flow of the planetary energies by knowing the secret of the transits. So the correct use of transits will be like giving vitamins to your chart. This most important aspect. While you cannot do anything about your birth chart, the qualities what you have inherited, you can enjoy the strength of the planets and the windows of opportunities they present. Minimize the weakness of time to take precautions, do remedies to manage the challenging transits. So I'm just not talking the talk. I have followed these rules since I would say 1990s. So there's a long-term experience, almost 30 years of experience of following what I'm saying. And so, we all have a birth chart. We don't know what, we cannot change that because that is part of who we are. But we can understand, it's like interpreting the weather. If it is snowing or raining or thunderstorm, you're not going to do anything at that time. But if the time is good, then you'll go out, enjoy the sun, you'll enjoy even the cool weather. So similarly with the planetary energy, we are improving the quality of our life. That is the most important aspect. So thing to remember here is that knowing the transits is not about predicting what is happening, but understanding the time you're living in. You're not trying to predict, oh, next year this is going to happen, this is the thing. But by understanding the time and not treating anything as negative or positive, you are actually making a big difference to yourself. In Vedic astrology, dasha is most crucial component. We are not talking about dashas. I've done previous workshops about dashas. Dasha and transits must be combined to know the complete experience. But many study the dashas and ignore the transits. That is knowing half the picture. If we know the quality of transits, it supports everyday life. So dasha transits should be studied together, but today we are only focusing on transits. But generally in life, we don't look at one without the other, because that's the whole picture of your particular time. So when you're studying the transits, there are many considerations to make. First, study the quality of Navagraha and then know how they are going to impact you. So Navagraha are the 9 planets that we as Jyotishi study. At times, planets are going through a negative phase. Then even if they seem okay for you, caution, patience must be applied to move through the transits. So here what I'm mentioning is that the planets may be negative for you personally. So for example, if you're Aquarius ascendant or Aquarius moon, then Saturn is going over your ascendant or moon at this stage. So even if the transits are pleasant, that particular aspect that is connected to you is more difficult. So you may not enjoy it. Finally, we should also understand the quality of time of the coming year to plan our life cosmically. I do a webinar once a year about the 2024 planets. I did this year, I'll do next year 25. So it's good to listen to that because you get an overall idea. And not just me, there may be other people who do look at the overview of the year. But soon you should try to have your own planning with it. So, so what to study in the transits? Which planets impact us most? So that is, each chart is individual, and you want to see which planets are going to have the maximum impact. The quality of the Navagrahas as a whole, uh, what is the overall picture of are there any special harmful yogas that are happening collectively during the year or month? Your Kalsarpa yoga, Mars Saturn conjunction, Yama yoga. We want to know, what we want to know is extreme behavior of the planets. Sometimes negativity lasts for a short time. It all sorts itself out. However, if the challenges pile up, the planetary weather is very powerfully adverse. So that is where, we have to be very cautious. Now, I'm not studying Uranus, Neptune, or Pluto, but if you know that knowledge, it is perfectly okay for you to study those as well. But I don't. I teach classical Jyotish. So I don't study those planets in my study. So what to study? We want to study the strengths and weaknesses of the planets during the transits, difficult conjunctions, eclipses, key transits experienced to the moon, sun, and ascendant, that is to your moon, sun, and ascendant. Saturn transits like Saresati, Ashtama Shani, Kantaka Shani. Saturn transits tend to activate the karmic issues. We need to be prepared. The challenging transits over other planets must be studied too. So you see, you can look at the overall picture. Favorable transits of the Lagna Lord. Varshapal annual chart is a snapshot of what we will experience during the coming year, and from one birthday to another. So I'm firstly just going to share the chart. So I don't know, I think Monica, you said that most people study
Yes.
North Indian
In
chart.
North.
Yeah. But anyway, this is the chart for one sec, this is not now. See, this is the chart that we are experiencing right now. So you can see today that Saturn is in Aquarius, Mars is in Aries, one is Aries, Jupiter, Mercury, Sun, and Venus are in Taurus. Now, Venus is in its own sign, but it is combust. So very close to the Sun. So if you're Taurus ascendant, you are feeling it, or Libra, because Venus is combust. And Mercury is also going towards combustion. Last month, Jupiter was combust exactly. Moon today is in Aries, nice moon. We must have chosen this date, keeping the moon in mind. So we are going to have a good experience. And Rahu Ketu is 18 degrees Virgo, and Rahu is 18 degrees Pisces. You see, we are looking at a number of things when we are trying to decide what the transits are talking about. So what do we look at? The challenging transits. So every year, we have one or two highly challenging issues. It's essential to identify them. In 2024, 2 times have extreme quality of challenging transits or challenging planets. April 2024, there was eclipses, Mars, Saturn, Rahu conjunctions, and October 2024 has eclipses, Ketu conjunctions. So you see, we have to identify the time and plan for it. You know, the time is there. And here I have the chart of April, 10th April 2024. And I'll just show you this whole timing in more detail. But here you can see that Mars-Saturn exact conjunction at 20 degrees of Aquarius. Remember, the chart of Mexico ascendant is 19 degrees Leo, 19 plus Leo. So there's almost opposite that in April. So you can look back to that timing. Now you can also see here Rahu is with the sun. Whenever Rahu is with the sun, it means that the eclipses are going to take place. And eclipses usually take place at new moon, full moon. But whenever Rahu is with the sun, all the faster moving planets will conjoin with the sun. And so in this April-May timing, it was rather very challenging. And if we just go backward, so this is uh, 9th of June just now today. And if we go backwards to April, but even before that, so there was an eclipse, a lunar eclipse on 25th of, I think 26th, no, it's 25th. On 25th of um, March, there was a lunar eclipse, and you can see the opposition is there with Rahu, full moon. So this is not exact eclipse energy. And this is the start of these difficult planets. Then if we go ahead a little bit by 7 days, and you see on 1st of April, you see Saturn, Mars are coming together, and Jupiter, Sun is with Rahu. And the exact conjunction was on 3rd, 4th of April, 4th of April, exact conjunction of Sun Rahu. And then 8th of April was the solar eclipse. Now, this eclipse was all through the Americas. So it was Canada, USA, Mexico, all the countries. The eclipse was visible. It was not just happening, it was visible as well. And if you see here, we, moon, Rahu conjunction, and then Saturn, Mars are coming together 2 days later. And you see that aspect is there. And then we go 2 days later to see the Saturn-Mars conjunction. And then as we go, because Mars is going to go into Pisces, and the eclipse degree was 25 degrees of Pisces, because the eclipse degree is always connected to where the sun is. And then if we just go forward, Mercury is retrograde as well. We don't enough drama you can see taking place. And then all the planets have to, sorry, here's the Mars Rahu conjunction. And again, 19 degrees Pisces, Mars Rahu, moon is opposite. This was 18th of May. And then you can see Jupiter, Sun combustion. And if you're Pisces or Sagittarius, you would feel that. Now, Mercury is in Aries as yet, but now if we come to now, that is today's chart, you can see that Venus is combust, and on actually 14th, see, this is 14th of June, Mercury is combust as well. But it's not as difficult as what was happening in April and May, because there was simultaneously and visible eclipse as well. And then we go to the next transit that we are looking at. And this is the 13th April 2025 eclipse. We are not eclipse, transit, which we are all watching for. There's a Rahu Saturn at 1 degree of Pisces, and this eclipse, this Rahu Saturn conjunction happens once every 11 years. And this is one of the reasons that I decided to do my goddess temple trip, because the goddess Durga is the deity for Rahu, and then we'll visit Saturn temples as well. So we will be doing the remedy for this as part of the India trip. It happened to us, and this is transit Shula Yoga. And when these transits are happening, they're not very comfortable. So what you see is all planets in 3 signs, excluding Rahu Ketu. So on 6th of June, maybe 5th of June as well, actually you can see for about, as soon as moon went into Aries, uh, planets were all in 3 signs only. And so we've been having this transit Shula Yoga. On 6th of June, there were 5 planets in Taurus, and you can see Mars, Saturn. Rahu, Ketu are not included in Shula Yoga. So again, you may not have this yoga in your chart, but you are experiencing the time of it. And most of these Shula Yoga is always very aggressive and angry, and it's sort of 3-pronged effect. It's challenging yoga to have. So we have this, we already experienced it, so that fortunately some of the things we have experienced. But the thing is we may have experienced them, but the fallout of these experiences comes later, because the fallout is at a later date that we have to look at. So then we should also look at the positive transits. So on 25th of June, so Mercury will be in Gemini, Mars in Aries, Saturn in Aquarius. Actually, for many years, we are not going to have like a pure positive transit, but it's okay. And here we see this is 25th of June. Mars is in Aries. Venus is in Gemini, but Mercury is in Gemini past its combustion. So that is a healthy aspect for it. And Saturn has been in Aquarius for some time. When you're planning and looking at the transits, you see the eclipse season is on, you know that the faster moving planets are going to conjoin with Ketu. And 4th of September, Venus, Ketu, Venus is debilitated as well. And then we'll go to the eclipse time, and that is 17th of September. And of course, moon will be with the sun. And then 15 days later, we have the 2nd of October. We have the solar eclipse. These are not visible here. Fortunately, we as uh, USA and Mexico, we have dealt with our eclipse for this time. But these are always disturbed energies, whether they are visible or not. And then you can see here Ketu is, Mercury is combust. Mercury would have had a Ketu conjunction. So, that's not as bothersome as what we have already dealt with, because those are the major aspects to deal with. So what you have to see is, and it's a lot of effort to be put in, is to look at what is happening and how you're dealing with the transit.